What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the next fights to make after UFC 306 O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. There's 10 winners from the card. I'll be talking about most of those 10 winners. I'll be talking about a few of the losers as well from the card and matchmaking all of their next fights. Let me know in the comments which fights you want to see for the winners and losers of this card. There was definitely some fun fights, so there's definitely some fun matchups to be made. But yeah, let's get started with the winner of the main event. Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov is the next fight to make. Now, I know that Umar doesn't really deserve it, beyond belief. Yeah, he beat Corey Sandhagen, but that's the only top 15 guy he's beaten. So, I think someone like Figgy arguably deserves it more than him. I think even, Jose Aldo kind of deserves it more than him, but Jose Aldo's obviously fought Merab, and that fight sucked. So this is less of me being yeah, we really need to see this fight, which we do. This is going to be a good fight to happen. We do need to see it. Both guys on massive win streaks. Umar's undefeated. Merab's been undefeated for 12 fights or something like that. So we definitely need to see this fight. This will definitely happen in Abu Dhabi next year. They're going to do another. They're going to end up doing 3 Middle East shows a year probably. This will main event one of them, I'm guessing. I doubt they put this on a fight night. It would definitely be a pay-per-view. Maybe not a pay-per-view. With how stacked they're making these Abu Dhabi cards, this could even be a pay-per-view co-main event. But yeah, Umar versus Merab is the fight to make. The fucking both battle of the weird hats, papaka or whatever the fuck. I was going to say papaya, that's a fruit. Battle of the fucking weird furry hats that they have. That's what we're going to see here. Battle of the inbreds. It's going to be really interesting to finally see two of these two fight each other. Because we normally don't see two of the inbreds from the East fight each other. It never happens. They always be like, brother, no, we must. It's hey, how about Ikram? How about Ikram Aliskerov fights Shara Magomedov? No, brother, we need to stay undefeated both and fight different opposition. It's really weird. So this is going to be the first time we see two of the inbreds from the East actually battle each other in the cage. By say battle, I mean sniff each other's crotches. But no, I actually kind of like Merab, and Umar's a good fighter. So this fight actually could end up being pretty fun. It'll be high level. It'll be a lot of grappling. So yeah, this fight needs to be made next. But let's move on to the loser of the main event. Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley is the fight that needs to be made next for Sean O'Malley. This fight, in my opinion, fuck pay-per-view. This should be a fight night main event. And you know what? If O'Malley fucking has time, I know it's a bit of an ask, main event the December Florida fight night with this. I know neither of these two are from Florida, but this would be a really good main event to end off the year. O'Malley didn't take a crazy amount of damage. Maybe it's a bit too much of an ask, and actually Corey probably took some damage. So yeah, maybe I'm stretching it a bit here. But no, I think this fight should be an arena main event, 5 rounds in front of a crowd in America. I mean, you could put it as a pay-per-view feature fight for 3 rounds, or even a pay-per-view co-main event for a weaker pay-per-view. And this fight would be sick. This would be technical. Finally, we're not going to get these two. They can just strike. I mean, Corey Sandhagen would probably grapple. But funny thing is, if Corey Sandhagen grappled and won against O'Malley, you wouldn't hear MMA Guru complaining about inbreds and crotch sniffing. You would just hear him saying good win from Corey Sandhagen. But yeah, when any American fighter does it, it's fine. But whenever it's the meme where it's oh, you're sweet compared to human resource. Hello, human resources. MMA Guru when a fighter not from America crotch sniffs. Hello, human resources, MMA Guru when any other normal white fighter from America crotch sniffers. Oh yeah, what a good performance. But anyway, regardless, no, this fight would be cool. Corey Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley needs to be made next, because I'm 90% sure they're gonna do Figgy versus Jan anyway, and they've already got Aldo booked. They've already got I don't think Cheeto, obviously not fighting either of these two. So yeah, I think that's a pretty clear fight to make, is Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen. But let's move on to the co-main event. Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Furo is the fight that needs to be made next for the 125 title. I was going to suggest Valentina. This is what I think she should do, is try and move up to bantamweight and get a title fight before Kayla Harrison, because honestly, she's got a very good chance of beating Pena Pennington winner, because they're both shit. So Valentina could easily win a belt up a division, but as soon as Kayla gets the belt, yeah, you're not winning the belt. Although, to be honest, if she could stuff takedowns off Kayla Harrison and just kind of drag her into the later rounds, she could win that fight. because I don't think she's just going to get finished like Holly Holm on the ground. But regardless, if she's staying at 125, which she should, she just won the belt back. Fight Manon Furo, she's the deserving contender. She just whooped up Erin Blanchfield. Definitely deserves a title shot. Weighed in as the backup. Pretty clear next fight to make. But let's move on to the loser of the main or co-main event. Alexa Grasso, I think she should fight Natalia Silva after she wins her next fight, because I'm pretty sure Natalia Silva has just had a fight booked with, I believe, Viviane Araújo. I'm going to check this now just to make sure I'm not tripping. Which is interesting because she just beat Jessica Andrade, but I think they might have already booked her for another fight, which is interesting. She's 27, and I think this would be, one, a good fight for the fans, because both of these two women are quite attractive ladies. Maybe am I tripping, or is... Hang on. I swear I saw this on the graphic for... Oh, no, she's fighting Corrine Silva. Okay, I'm retarded. No, yeah, never mind. Just have Natalia Silva fight. That's what I was going to say. I was like, no way they booked her that quickly. No, so yeah, I say do Natalia Silva versus Alexa Grasso. I was going to say after she wins against Araújo, but no, she's not fighting Araújo. I'm retarded. So yeah, in my opinion, you do that fight. Do Grasso versus Natalia Silva. Obviously, there would be no direct, there would be no obvious pick, because neither of them are lesbian and neither of them are considerably uglier than the other. So it would be you'd actually be picking between two attractive women, which would be a difficult fight to pick. But yeah, I think this would be a good fight. It would mostly be stand-up as well, so it'll be pretty fun. But yeah, make this fight happen. Let's move on, though, to the feature fight. Diego Lopez, I think we should just give him a title shot, to be honest, because Diego Lopez is our king. He's perfect. He's amazing in every way, and I think he deserves a title shot. Imagine being Rigo and picking fucking Brian Ortega like a retard. Imagine being Bedtime. I like Bedtime. I'm not going to shit on Bedtime as much. Rigo's a scumbag. But imagine being someone who picked Brian Ortega. That would suck so bad. What a casual prediction. Couldn't be me. I might have gone 4 out of 10 on the card, but at least I picked Lopez. No, but still, Lopez looked great. He smoked Ortega, gave him no moments in the fight, won at 30-26 in my opinion. And yeah, look, we could just give him the winner of Movsar versus Aljo, but he's past Movsar. When he was beating Sadiq Youssef and Pat Sabatini and that, he's calling out Movsar, and we're like, that's cool. You should fight Movsar, get a rematch. Even when he beat Dan Ige, I wouldn't have minded the Movsar fight, but now, he's past Movsar. He's number 3. Movsar is not number 3. Movsar is lower than that, so who cares? Movsar, you're in the past, buddy. You've had, double the UFC fights of this guy, and he's going to get a title shot before you. Actually, he hasn't even had double the UFC fights of him, because Lopez has fought 6 times, because he made his debut in May. That's 1. Gavin Tucker in August, Pat Sabatini in November, Sadiq Youssef in April, Dan Ige in June, and then Brian Ortega in September. This dude has fought 6 times in 16 months. Nuts activity from Diego Lopez. But I think you should get the winner of Ortega versus Holloway. Maybe we do him versus Volkanovski, but I don't want to see that because I kind of think he might chin Volkanovski in 30 seconds, and that would be sad. But still, I think, yeah, winner of the title shot would be kind of deserved. I don't mind if you want to do Aljo or Movsar to determine who gets the title shot. If you want to do, because that fight's in October, do maybe the winner of that versus Volkanovski in March or April or something next year. But even that's that's so long for Volkanovski to sit out. He doesn't want to sit out for that long. So I wouldn't even, Lopez versus Volk for an interim belt, or Lopez versus Volk is not something I could see as unlikely. But yeah, him versus Aljo or Movsar is also a good fight, but I think he deserves a title shot off that win, because if people are being no bro, he's only beat one top 5 or one top really good opponent, he's beaten more top 15 opponents than Umar, I'll tell you that. Umar beat Sandhagen ranked number 2, Lopez beat Ortega ranked number 3, Lopez also has a win over Dan Ige, who's in the top 15, and a win over Sadiq Youssef, who until recently was actually ranked, compared to Umar, who has never fought anyone who's ranked. So that's apart from Corey. But he was just number 9 when he fought him. God knows how. But anyway, let's move on, though, to Brian Ortega. We got Brian Ortega. I think he should fight Beneil Dariush next. I think he should go up to lightweight. There's nothing left from at featherweight. What's he going to do? Fight fucking Arnold Allen? That's just not going to go well for him. I think there's no reason for Ortega to stay at featherweight. So if he wants to stick around in the UFC and still fight, go up to lightweight. Don't get a top 5 guy. Don't get a big name coming off a win or anything. You can get Beneil Dariush. Both washed, soy builds, look fucking old. Look like they'd be teaching yoga classes or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, this will be a cool fight. There'll be some good grappling in this one, I reckon. You could do him versus a lower ranked guy. I don't mind just giving him a unranked fighter and he just gets whooped. But I feel like he would kind of command like at least a top 15 guy. Maybe Moicano if he loses to BSD, not a bad fight. That could be something that we do, but I don't know. Ortega, he's got options. He can stay at featherweight if he wants. If he stays at featherweight, do Arnold Allen. If he wants to go up, then he can fight Benil Dariush. But let's move on, though, to the next fighter. Next up, we got Esteban Ribovic, who got a really nice win in a war and one of the best fights I've seen against Daniel Zellhuber. I think he should fight Elvis Brenner. Elvis Brenner is another guy from South America, from Brazil, of course. These guys were booked. Fun fact, they were booked on the Sao Paulo card last year with Lewis and Almeida. That fight fell through because Ribovic got injured. Brenner ended up KOing Kainan Krashevsky. Then Brenner went and fought fucking Joel Alvarez and got his ass beat. So I wouldn't even mind Ribovic versus Joel Alvarez, but I kind of want to see Alvarez versus a ranked opponent. Ribovic is probably one fight away from a ranked opponent. I don't mind him versus like Diego Ferreira, him versus like Bobby Green, one of those type of guys. But yeah, if he wants to fight, this fight wouldn't happen quickly. Obviously, they both took a lot of damage in their recent fights. Brenner took a lot of damage. So maybe make this fight happen next year sometime. Ribovic is not like a crazy active fighter. But yeah, Ribovic is fun as hell, man. Just give him fun guys that are going to strike with him, not Rajdabovs. Not the Rajdabovs of the world. That's what we need for Ribovic. But anyway, let's move on, though, to the next fighter. Next up, we got Ronaldo Rodriguez, Alan Nascimento. I didn't want to give him a ranked opponent because I think he'll lose. And I want to see if we can actually build this guy a bit, get him some technique, because he's got the potential. Like, he's clearly got the grappling. The grappling is solid. His striking looks awful. Like, he gets dropped badly by Ode Osborne. But I don't know, Nascimento's a solid fighter. I think he'd have a probably pretty grapple-heavy matchup with him, I reckon. You could do really anyone outside the rankings. Just he's won 2 fights against both lower-level opposition, so I don't think he deserves a ranked guy yet. But yeah, Rodriguez, definitely a potential fan favourite. If he can keep winning, he can build some real stardom. But yeah, good win from Rodriguez against Ode Osborne. But let's move on, though, to the next fighter. Next up, we got Norma Jamont. I think she should fight the loser of the title fight coming up next month between Juliana Pena and Raquel Pennington. I think that loser is going to be Pena, and that's who I think she should fight. Look, Pena might just refuse to fucking fight again and just retire. That might happen. If that happens, you can do a rematch with Macy Chiasson, who she lost a split decision to a couple years ago. That's not a bad fight, and then the winner of that, you could probably give a title shot, to be honest. But Jamont, she looked really good. She beat up Aldana. I guess Aldana is pretty old, but she's now a top 5 bantamweight, so good win for Norma Jamont. She looked solid. Unfortunately, the loose shorts limited the viewing experience, but Norma Jamont looked pretty solid. Let's move on, though, to the next fighter. We got Ignacio Bahamondes versus Jalen Turner is the fight that I think should happen. Just to any time, like a really lanky fighter, like when Alvarez won, I said do him versus Jalen Turner. And then if Zellhuber had won against Ribovic, I would have said do him. But no, Bahamondes versus Jalen Turner works fine for me. That's a cool fight. Both of them two just going to be real anorexic in the cage, and we're going to see who can be more anorexic and who can be more of a range merchant and do more fucking tapping at range or counter right hands and stuff. This will be a good fight, though. Like, Jalen Turner, let's see if he actually has any fucking fight left in him, because I'm starting to really question if this guy has any heart. Like, he gets occasional KOs and you're like, oh, Jalen Turner's a problem, but he's lost to so many guys. Like, his record's like 14-8 or some shit like that. He's not that good. But I think Bahamondes would beat him, and I think Bahamondes, I really wanted to fucking pick him against Torres, but I was getting baited by the Mexican fucking plot armor. I thought all the Mexicans were going to win. But no, they ended up going like 2-6. That's tough. Dana's love letter to Mexico resulted in 2 of them winning. But regardless, yeah, Bahamondes versus Jalen Turner would be a sick fight. Let's move on, though, to the next fighter. So, Josh Van, I think he should fight Felipe dos Santos next. These are 2 younger guys, 2 really exciting fighters, both of which Felipe dos Santos coming off a loss. Van just snapped back, got a win. But yeah, both guys who were kind of trying to rebound a little bit after setbacks. Van obviously started that process of rebounding. I think Van's a lot better than him. I think Van would win this fight, because I just looked at Felipe dos Santos' strike, and I really don't think he's that good. I think he's just very aggressive and crazy, but not very good at all. Van's actually got technique. His defense is a bit questionable at times, but his offense is sick to watch. I don't want to jump him in there with a top 5, or not top 5, sorry, like a top 15 guy straight away after that loss to Johnson. But yeah, if you want to give him 1 or 2 more, build him up. He's got time. And yeah, we could see Van fighting for like a top 10 guy or a top 10 spot in the next year or something like that. I wouldn't mind seeing him get in there one more time. Fight him on December. He took a bit of damage, so maybe that's a bad idea. But Van likes to stay active. Again, he's another guy. Made his debut in June of last year. Fought June, fought November, fought January, fought July, obviously, because he had a bit of a break because he kept getting fucking fights cancelled, which was tough because he was booked for April, he was booked for the start of June, he was booked for mid-June, and then he fucking didn't get booked again until July. So that was tough. And then he obviously... So what's that? 5 fights? Yeah, 5 fights since June. Bro, him and Lopez have been two of the, like, big... Obviously, Lopez has gained a lot more. Lopez has beaten way better guys. But still... Van and Lopez have both fought a lot since, obviously... And Urseg's another one. Urseg debuted in June last year as well. Fought June, fought November, fought March, fought May, and then fought... Urseg's got 5 fights in the same amount of time too. So Urseg, Van, and Lopez have kind of really... More so Urseg and Van... Also Urseg and Lopez have really asserted themselves as, like, high-level guys in a very short amount of time from entering the UFC. But yeah... all of them fan favourites, and all of them are some of my favourite fighters. But anyway, let's move on, though, to the last fighter. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Hani Yahya. This is the opposite ends of the age spectrum. Hani Yahya's 40 years of age. I just want to do some old guy. I was going to do like Cody Gibson, but he's got a fight booked. Rosas, he called for a ranked opponent. You can't be taking a Trelangtor decision and getting a ranked opponent. That's not going to go well for you. Dana knows it. Dana's smart. They'll keep building him. They'll keep giving him easy wins to just kind of work on his game, get better. His grappling's solid, but he does need to, definitely needs to work on some things. And yeah, he beats Hani Yahya pretty easily. Hani Yahya's got nothing on the feet for him. This will be a competitive match on the ground. It's good to give him an older guy with more experience, more cage kind of IQ, and it'll test him in the grappling a bit, but no one that's going to risk. You don't want to be giving this guy, like, even like a Davy Grant, I think it would be too much for him. I think Davy Grant would beat him. Like, you don't want to give him someone who could just, you don't want to give this guy like a Miles Johns. Like, anyone who might just KO him or be too big or too physical for him, you don't want to do that. Give him Hani Yahya. Hani Yahya's old. He'll lose. Skimming through a couple other fights that you could do, like Zellhuber. I don't mind like a Zellhuber versus Torres, I don't mind. They might not fight each other if they're Mexican or some shit. But yeah, there's some other good ones. Torres versus like Rebecca would be sick if he loses to Orlby. That'd be a cool fight. Torres versus, like, I don't know. There's a couple other cool fights you can do. Ketlin Souza got a win too. Shout out to her. I didn't put her on the list because I don't think anyone would really care, but she's actually pretty solid. Smoked Yaregui, whatever. Good win by her. But yeah, that's the video done, guys. Quick one. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Follow my Instagram, Left Lane MMA. Got more videos coming soon. But if you want to see other videos specifically, drop some shit that you want to see. I got the GOAT list video in the works. We'll be releasing that sometime this coming week, in the off week when there's no UFC. But until then, next card on the books is Paris. I'll live stream for that, predictions and all that. So yeah, more content coming in. Keep it locked in on the channel, and peace out, guys. See you in the next one.